12 weeks later, that the people who wrote gratitude letters for 3 weeks were happier 12 weeks later compared to the control group. Hi, welcome back to Self-Wired Happiness. My name is Monica. Here at Self-Wired Happiness, we unlock the secrets to a long, happy, and successful life. Last week I had COVID, so if you hear my voice being a little different, it's because of COVID. But I'm recovering. Apart from the ringing in my ear, everything else seems to be going well. On our last topic, we talked about how to overcome a breakup, and what we learned most is that going inward is really the power of healing. When you go inside yourself to that stillness, that's when you find healing. In today's topic, we're going to talk about the power of gratitude and why people say that gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. A few years ago, it was probably back in 2015, I was watching Oprah and she had this woman on her show. The show was named My Stroke of Insight. This woman had a stroke 8 years back, and she was on Oprah after having recovered from her stroke. She had done therapy for 8 years, being this woman who was working and having her life together, to having a stroke, and now she could not talk, she could not eat, she could not do anything. Her stroke had destroyed her hands, so she could not drink anything. She had to be fed. She could not remember her numbers. She could not remember anything. The stroke had destroyed a huge part of her brain. But 8 years later, she was on Oprah show and she was showing the world the book that she had written. Her Stroke of Insight is the name of the book. I bought that book and read it. So in her book, she explains that her mom recognized that when she had a stroke, that her mom recognized that this woman was no longer the woman that she was. She was now a little girl who needed to learn like everything from zero. The mother was so loving. She took this child, she was probably in her 30s, took this woman back and nursed her back. She showed her her ABCs, her numbers. She showed her, things like this is a cup. She gave her therapy, she made her sleep. She loved this woman and accepted her condition as she was, took it and nursed her back to health. 8 years later, she was on Oprah talking about her stroke and talking about her book that she had written. That was the most amazing thing that I had seen in my life at that time. So it got me curious to learn about why her brain had changed like this. And what I learned is neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to change itself. You can learn anything. You can teach your brain anything. As long as you give yourself the patience and the love, you can learn anything that you want in life. This is what that mother did to this girl, and now she nursed her back into being the woman that she was before. She taught the brain to rewire itself so that it remembers everything that it had learned. So we are always changing our brain by what we are exposing ourselves to, because that's what the brain is doing. The brain is always changing itself. I was reading also another thing about gratitude. They did a study of 300 adults and they made them write gratitude letters every week. They had a control group that did not write anything. So 12 weeks later, they take the control group and they take the group that wrote letters, and they saw that the group that wrote letters was happier even after the study ended 3 weeks. But now they measure their happiness 12 weeks later, that the people who wrote gratitude letters for 3 weeks were happier 12 weeks later compared to the control group. That's the amazing power of gratitude. They did another study and they measured the participants for 12 months later. The people who wrote every day, like the things that they were grateful for that day, just writing things that were grateful, and their mental health had significantly improved because of their gratitude. Gratitude you can teach yourself, because the brain can change itself. You can use gratitude to help your brain move from a state of depression to a state of happiness just by practicing gratitude alone, like writing every day the things that you're grateful for, writing people letters and telling them thank you for the things that they've done for you. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. If you're the richest person in the world, but you're not grateful, then you have nothing, because you don't recognize what you have and you're not grateful for it. You could be the poorest person in the universe, but you're grateful for that little that you have, because you're experiencing that gratitude. Even if you're the poorest person, you have received something that this person who is the richest person in the world doesn't recognize. That's why they say that gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Gratitude can change your mind from being depressed to being happy. And all you have to do is to write down every day what you're grateful for. Our mind is designed to look at what is not going on right in our life. It's not designed to see what is going great in our lives. So it's good to teach it, to take that extra effort to teach it so that it can see what is really going well in your life. Get a gratitude journal. I bought a gratitude journal so that I can keep up the habit for until this book, I cover this book. That practice will help me wire in gratitude into my daily life. And also, like, in the next few months, if I continue reading and practicing this journal, I will have cultivated a mind that is grateful. We are always wiring our mind. Be challenged to wire your mind into happiness. And you can do this through gratitude. Thanks again for tuning in to Self-Wired Happiness. Please like, subscribe, and share. And until next time.